So I'm in this beautiful location with Kru Pedro. For those of you who don't know Pedro, that most of you already know him as someone who teaches Southeast Asian martial arts in the foothills of Thailand. Now, I first heard of Pedro about 20 years ago, and I think Pedro, you already made your journey from the US. I think first from Spain to the US to Thailand, right? Can you tell us how you best describe what you do, okay, and how you came about to doing what you do?
What I'm doing now is, in a way, I'm training martial arts, becoming soft.
Right.
Before I was more external, hard fighting.
Yeah.
And now, in the last few years, I start to become softer and softer into the practice. So I guess it's the best way to describe it is I'm looking for balance. I'm training balance to be able to be hard when I need to and to be soft when the situation.
But you wasn't always like that, because when I first met you, you were a bit of you were training Muay Thai, you were fighting, you came from the US. Tell us a little bit about that before.
It was a hard time. I was fighting professionally first in Spain, then I went into America, keep fighting there, keep training, and then I decided to move to Thailand to keep fighting.
Right. Okay. So you moved to Thailand just to deepen your knowledge of the Thai fighting arts.
Yes. And I came in contact with Krabi Kravon and with the ancient styles of Muay Thai, and so the path I could continue training, and then the path took me slowly into a different version of what I had learned.
Right.
It's just I was isolated. I'm not a local, and living in Thailand, especially at that time, it was very difficult because language, because food, because the mind. So
very few Europeans were here training. They come in and go, but you were probably one of the only one or two that stayed here for how long? How many years?
It's 20 years. 20 years, bro. 20
Respect,
years. 20 years.
Respect. 20 years.
So because the isolation in the training and teaching, so I start to deviate a little bit from the Thai arts, from the core of the Thai arts, I would say, for what they were teaching me, into a different version of mainly following the heart.
Right. Okay.
And understanding the art from a different perspective, not just from the heart, but also from the soft.
Right.
I start to do meditation, I start to make the prayers, I start to make different aspects that they were never in Muay Thai, but were resonating with my heart.
So basically you were practicing in Thailand, but your heart was saying, Pedro, there's another way for you to go.
Yes.
But you didn't have that necessary information around you.
Yes, but I still follow it.
You still follow it, but this is very important.
Against all the odds, because many people told me, say, no, this is not correct, this is, you cannot do. I said, but I feel that in my heart. I think that you can be hard and you can be soft. I feel the meditation is part of it. Even they told me, no, this is religion and this is Muay Thai. Now the new Muay Boran, kind of embracing things. But before it was completely different. It was fighting in the ring, or you become a monk.
Right.
So it was completely, but in my heart it was the same.
Right. Now this is very interesting, because I have a friend here who said the same thing. He said, if you're going to fight, I can teach you fighting, but if you want meditation, I take you to the monastery. But why don't you do the same? Why don't you do the two? Why doesn't your Boran become a moving meditation? Why doesn't your fighting become a meditation? Now this is what you were experiencing, right? So how many years were you feeling this? For how many years?
This is happening since I was 15 years old.
Right.
In Spain.
Makes
already
sense.
is something was going on there, and I went to America. I put it on the side because I wanted to learn how to fighting. But when I came to Thailand, I fought, and then I retired, and then I started teaching. Then I came back. That feeling came back. That voice to say, Pedro, sit and meditate, calm your mind, see. So I started to do different practices, and then slowly, my journey took me out of the traditional way as the Thais teach.
Right.
And then And then I was practicing for a few years, following the heart. And then is when I came to go, and I went to India, I went to China,
I remember
to Bhutan,
when
I
you
went to
Sumatra.
Cambodia, to Sumatra. And I was so happy, brother, to see that what I was following, it was there.
Right. I understand.
Before there was no internet, there was not even email. So you don't have that ability to learn. So the only thing you can do is just follow the heart.
Right.
So when I went there, and I saw what I saw, it was, this is my feeling. It's already for thousands of years or hundreds of years out already is happening. So in a way, I was very happy because I said, okay. So I came to Thailand. I learned the fighting, and now that I learned the fighting, pure fighting, actually, I was not so off, and I can continue learning all these internal aspects through.
Wow. So this has been a real internal evolution and progression. Continuously working, continuously learning, continuously training, continuously developing. It's beautiful.
This is like I told you before, brother. I wake up in the morning, I don't know something. When I go to sleep, I know something. And he repeat all the time about martial arts, about sword. It is a constant learning every day. I don't know where the information comes from. I listen to people, advice, I observe, I feel, and I express whatever is there.
Wow.
And if I see something that is useful, I take it.
Right.
And reshape it,
right.
sand it.
Right.
And so far it's just...
So you have a full-time centre here. Tell us a little bit about how that started and what you do. You take people from Europe, all over the world come. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, as I said, I was in Spain fighting, training, I went to America, and I came to Thailand to train, and I fell in love with Southeast Asia.
Wow.
First with Thailand, and then with Southeast Asia.
Wow. Okay.
So, I said, I love Thailand. It's a wonderful place. The people is wonderful.
Yeah.
The art of fighting is powerful.
Yeah.
I like the Buddhism very much. So I said, okay,
I
want to stay here.
That's it.
So I'm going to find out the way to stay here. So I opened a school, and suddenly lots of people came.
Wow.
It was 20 years ago. So I started teaching, and I started preparing fighters, which we were doing quite well in the ring.
Yeah.
But when I trained many fighters, again, like I said, a voice, a feeling came through me to say, Pedro, that part is enough. It's like a kind of I was satisfied.
Right.
So that I start to working with people in a different way.
Okay.
And then I saw that while I was training them, they start to change outside and inside through the practices, the internal practice, the meditation, the prayers. So I start to put the fight on the side, and I start to work with people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Through meditation, through feelings, I start to sense energy in the people. Where were the problems? So slowly, through the martial arts, I start to be able to feel people's heart, mind. I opened that sense, and that people were talking to me, and then I was be able to work with that. So one person after the other, I said, when they coming through to the school, they coming, when they leaving, very vibrant, full of life.
Wow. So this is like a retreat that you run here for people to come and find restoration, replenishment, renewal, strength, to tap into themselves.
That is what is happening.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing. In not necessarily where I was planning to do, but it's just what is happening.
It just happened.
And you know what? I'm very happy.
Of course.
That happened. Because it gives a sense that the martial arts that we're doing, in a way, is helping people. It's not, the world, brother, has lots of fights in the world. It's a lot of fighting.
Bro.
We need light.
Bro, anyone can pick up an axe. You don't need martial arts.
So, and also I discovered that through all these practices, that people that they come to, they're looking for something, but actually they are not looking for that. They're looking to find themselves.
Right.
So they say, I want to fight. Many people, they just drop and said, Kru, I don't want to fight anymore. Yeah. I'm going to the Himalayas to do yoga. And I said, brother, you make me very happy. So in a way, many people, they think it's the martial arts, but it's not just the martial arts. They're looking for something deeper.
Yeah, I understand.
And that is what I'm working. So the martial arts became my vehicle where we're teaching to, in a way, work with people so they can reach their heart.
Right, I understand.
That is what pretty much the school what it does.
Beautiful. So the martial art is like a vehicle for people just to train, a skill to learn so that they can touch their insides.
Learn good martial arts,
Right.
good health,
Beautiful.
and they learn how to embrace pressure, how to read emotions, how to work with emotions. While they still, don't get me wrong, my side of a fighter is still there. We train
it has
hard.
to be. Yeah, I've seen you
The
train.
martial arts is still
No. I've seen,
effective,
and that
but
will always be there because pressure for me and you is valuable.
it's very valuable.
It's
Yes.
very valuable for us under pressure. So we know this. We
It's,
know this.
in a way, one of our tools.
It's one of our tools, yeah, but it's not the goal.
Yes, no,
It's not the goal. That you took me to this beautiful place, right? And they will see this, right? This is a beautiful story, Pedro. Tell us about this, because might be a place where you take people to train, right?
Yes. This is a spring that the water comes out, natural spring, and there is a local story that is called Buatong or Nampujesi. It's the waterfall of the 7 colors, or Buatong is the lotus flower, golden lotus flower, which was the name of the princess, a ruler in the North Thailand, has a daughter, and they were living around here because they came to conquer, and the princess don't have water to wash herself, so they pray to the angels to produce a place where they can have water for washing,
Right.
and then the spring came out. The vibration of the place is just fantastic. As you feel when you come here, you just put the feet on the ground and your mind goes down, your energy rises up, and you feel very present. So it is something with the water. Yes,
Right,
I don't know
right.
but I cannot explain.
But this is important because people living in Europe, Germany, Belgium, Italy, France, in cities, right? When they come and train with you, you're going to bring them out into these beautiful sun, water, earth, the elements, and you use all this, right?
We have different places,
Right.
and yes, we take them out. I think nature is very, very
Right.
important in the training,
Right.
because what you said, we are energy, right? We are not just the physical. The physics is a kind of energy.
Yes.
So the more that we understand about energy, the more we understand about ourselves, the more our training becomes better. So, in my opinion, it's very important to get in touch with nature, with ourselves, to be able to explore, interact, feel what is there, and learn from it. As we have a body, but most of the things, many things we don't know. So when they come in, I always explain to them that there is an opportunity to know a little bit further about yourself. They don't need to believe anything. Nothing magic, no,
Nothing.
you don't need. You just to open the heart, open the mind, and experience what is there. And from there, we start walking together.
Oh, that's so nice. And from a martial perspective, you teach a lot. I see you training earlier very hard. How do you call the pole in Thai?
The plong or krabong.
The
Yes.
krabong, right? So how many weapons do you teach, and what's your training like? For example, open hand training. Give us a little rundown of your syllabus. What do you teach?
Empty hand,
Okay.
short range and long range,
Okay.
ground fighting,
Oh, nice.
and weapons, knife, a little bit, short range,
Sure.
double sword or single sword, middle range, and krabong or spear, long range.
Wow.
So there is 3 ranges in empty hands and 3 ranges in weapons.
And do the weapons and the empty hand have a link? Do they flow?
They're connected. There is one pattern. Notice there is one pattern, but there is certain concepts that are covering all the training. So different body mechanics, different ways of movement.
Right.
That fits.
As a martial artist, Pedro, who I respect immensely, and not just as your skill, but you as an individual have paid the price, and I think nowadays it's really important that we value people that have paid this kind of price, because the modern martial art, which I like, I've said to you earlier, MMA is, you get some wonderful guys and not so wonderful guys, right? but there are very few now that are practicing the ancient ways. So I value what you're saying, right? What connection do you find between the weapons and the open hand? How do they enhance each other for you?
You mean when you apply them in fighting, or the way that you learn?
The way that, how do they complement each other? Empty hand and weapons. What do you get from it?
I will say, brother, that every aspect of the martial arts develop different attributes in ourselves. So I see as a weapon, as a way of training different skill.
Right.
At the end, this is like a cake, and each weapon holds one piece.
Right.
So really, the weapon, in our case, for example, the long weapons train us eye coordination very fast, very, very fast. So you need to have a eye coordination to check, to block, and footwork. It makes your footwork much faster. And the eye coordination very fast. When we're training with the blade, live blade, it brings your adrenaline under control, because you can get cut in. When you go very fast, you learn how to deal with that adrenaline. And the empty hand, I would say that, of course, the mobility of the body, how to transfer energy, etc., and also how to embrace pain through increasing your pain tolerance. When you become tired, how to push that boundary of overcoming tiredness and not losing balance. So each aspect of the martial arts, I would say, covers one area within ourselves.
Nice.
I mean, I would love to learn lots of things, but obviously we don't have time. So we need to choose long, middle, short, empty hand, and weapons.
I understand.
And of course, when you learn, this is only in the physical, then the training goes into the internal. So at the end, it's external and internal. The external is all things that I described. The internal is a lot of training as well.
So Pedro, on closing, where does Pedro see Pedro in 10, 20, 30 years? In the martial arts, in your work, in your service for humanity? What do you see?
Here. I see it in my heart. I don't know at which place I will be, brother. I don't know what I will be doing, but I want to make sure that Pedro is in the heart, and don't leave home. Don't leave home. Certainly the practice will become softer. I feel.
You feel that?
The martial arts will become more refined, more softer, coming more in. But I would say the martial arts that I practice the most is make sure to be in the heart, to don't leave home. Because I feel it's the highest skill.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.